Okay, so you have an opportunity here to get a half a point back or half credit back on each short answer, depending on how many points it is, and multiple choice question on the Middle Ages test. If you complete the following by Friday, so there's a table here with the questions and how you're going to evaluate what answer you put, the correct answer, and a thorough. I'm going to hide my fat face here. A thorough reflection. Thorough. Keyword on thorough reflection. Keyword on thorough. If it's I put A and you forget it was this, or I put A and I thought it was B, and it's something that's not a good reflection. I want a reflection on how you've learned. Okay, what you've learned. So I picked a couple of example questions. And one of them is number 30. If I open up number 30, it talks about how we talked about, we actually showed this one in class, on how you move over to the right. And as you move further to the right, it shows the diagram suggests that feudalism gave way to a more regularized and firmly established system of government. It talks about how improvements in communication broke down barriers to the development of a strong centralized government and monarchs. Okay, none of these other ones only lasted a short time. It doesn't say anything about that. Facilitated communication across great distances doesn't say anything about that. Relying on lawmaking bodies doesn't talk about lawmaking bodies. It talks about a hierarchy in feudalism. So my explanation of the question, as you move across from left to right, the diagram suggests the governments got stronger when it references the development of strong centralized governments and improvements in communication, breaking down barriers between previously isolated feudal states. So the correct answer is B. The other one, a sample that I have, is the one on the Ottomans and Safavids, and the idea that, and I need to get into that 121, I believe it is. So the idea here is that one reason for the conflict between the Ottomans and Safavids is the Sunni Ottomans despised the Shiite Safavids as heretics. Where we talk about how the Ottomans were Sunni, they believed that any pious Muslim could lead and be caliph, and the Shiites, Safavids, believed that was a descendant of Muhammad's brother-in-law Ali, or that difference. So the explanation I have here is correct. My previous answer was C. The correct answer is B in this case. And some of you might be different because I think the answer choices are mixed. But as you move across, the question is asked for one reason between the conflict between the Ottoman and Safavid empires. The best response is that the Sunni Ottomans despised the Shiite Safavids. Safavids did not practice humanism, so would not have tried to convert the Sunni Ottomans. That was the Indians who practiced Hinduism. So we learned extensively about the conflict between the Sunnis and the Shiites, and we did learn extensively about the conflicts between the Sunnis and the Shiites. Okay, so these are examples. These are examples of thorough responses. These are examples of how a thorough reflection that would earn a half point back. Don't forget, you can earn half credit back on your short answer questions. Some of you did not do the happy, the historical context, audience, purpose, point of view, a point of view and purpose. Some of you did not, on question 3, did not evaluate the Muslim golden age very well, and the question asks for a use of evidence. And then and again, a lot of you didn't use evidence properly on some of those questions about the Muslim trade and the Muslim medicine. And then did you use your notes in the A5 Muslim notes assignment for the 5 pillars of Islam, or did you thoroughly? I guess the other question is, some of you lost credit because did you? And I'm thinking of this as I go. Did you thoroughly explain the 5 pillars? You may have just listed them, and that's a problem as well. Did you thoroughly explain the 5 pillars, or did you just list them? Is the question, right? In order to look at what you got right and wrong, you need to log into your student view, go down under online assessments. So you go over assessments, go to a online assessment history. This gives your assessment history. Thank you, Millie, for letting me log in as you. Go to the Middle Ages one. This person got pretty well. If we can load up the page and if it ever loads, this person did pretty well. It will show you again your results summary. You can review question feedback, and in order to see summary feedback, you can go over here, incorrect feedback, and it gives you a listing of the ones that are incorrect. Incidentally, this question asks you what is the furthest east. What empire is the furthest east? Okay, so this gives you a which period saw the deepest eastward expansion into Asia. This one would actually be the Safavid. If you look, it's the dark green here, and this would be the Safavid because it's the furthest eastward expansion. The furthest eastward expansion. And the same thing is true on the map. So she's got some reflecting to do on the map. What is best supported, which generalization is best supported by the information in the map. What you should see here, and I need to fix this, I guess, now that I see that, is you should see what you put and what the correct answer is, and I need to go in and make sure that I've fixed that, and so you can get a reflection on that. So for question 17, by the way, incidentally, let's look at question 17 on mine. Just for fun, let's look at question 17. So I'm giving you a few more here. So you can see on the map by the 1500s, the Ottomans control parts of the Middle East, North Africa, and Eastern Africa. Okay, so we were clearly reading the map wrong. So the Ottoman Empire controlled the largest amount of territory by 1453. No, they actually had more in the 1500s, right? The Mediterranean Sea served as a cultural barrier between Asia Minor and Northern Africa. We can't prove that from the map. What generalization is best supported by the information in the map? We can't prove that from the map. Safavid Empire controlled parts of the Western Europe by 1629. Parts of Western Europe? No, they did not. So the Ottoman Empire controlled parts of Middle East, North Africa, and Eastern Europe by the 1500s. Lands added by the 1500s. So we can see that the map supports that assumption. If you would like a little more guidance on the short answer questions, you're going to need to see me during the Friday meets or after school instead of a meet time with me. I'm not going to put them in here. If you'd like a more reflection on that and more help with that, you're going to need to see me. So that's the deal with that. So again, thorough reflections due by next Friday, and you can get a half a point, half credit back for each particular question.